So this question came up recently on one of my videos and I wanted to take a few minutes to respond because it's honestly such a great one. Someone asked, how can I go from a B1 or B2 level of English to becoming a successful CELTA or TESOL teacher? What steps should I take? First of all, I don't want to talk about the difference between a CELTA and a TESOL. That is a completely different story. But what I want to say is that, just the fact that you are asking that question, that shows that you already have the right mindset. I want to say this right at the start. It's 100% possible. But like anything meaningful, it takes time and it takes resilience. There's this quote I remind myself of all the time. Maybe you've heard it. The man on the top of the mountain didn't fall there. And I think that sums it up. You don't fall into success, you climb. So whether your first step is improving your English or working on your teaching skills or both, what matters is that you keep pushing forward, that you keep moving forward. Let's talk about language first. If you're at B1 or B2, your goal is to move towards C1 because, that's where you'll feel confident, not just speaking English, but explaining it, modeling it, playing with it in class. For me, academic reading helped a lot, but not just reading for the sake of it. I try to read like a teacher. How's this writer structuring their argument, for example? How do they use connectors? What vocabulary choices help them make it clear? The other thing for me was teaching practice. It also pushed my language forward because when you're in front of the students, you have to be clear. You have to listen carefully and you realize that's where your English really grows. I chose to do the DipTESOL, which, if you're not familiar, is a kind of equivalent to a full Cambridge Delta. And if I'm honest, I found it even more challenging in some ways. It took me nearly 3 years to complete, not just because, the course was tough, though it was, but because these things simply take time. The online modules, the travel for the practical part, the written exam, none of it was quick. I could have chosen CELTA, right? But I wanted to challenge myself, to push for the highest standards I could. And trust me, that wasn't about ego. It was about growth. I wanted to raise the bar for myself again and again. So I think the key mindset that helped me through it all was resilience. There were moments I doubted myself, having hesitations, but I kept climbing step by step. So what would I suggest if you're starting out? First, don't rush. Give yourself time to build both your English and your teaching confidence. Second, surround yourself with good input, not just grammar books, but podcasts, articles, lessons, or basically wherever English is used naturally. I mean, if you ask anyone with a good command of English, they're going to give you a lot of pieces of advice, but at the end of the day, you're going to find your own, the one that works for you. Third, teach as much as you can. Like, every class teaches you something. It's not just your students learning, it's also you learning something new. And finally, be curious. Keep raising the bar for yourself. That's what the best teachers do. They stay learners. So if you want more practical ideas, I've got a bunch of videos on assessment, feedback, reflective teaching. Basically, this channel is devoted to teaching that matters. So you can check those out after this one. And I'd love to hear in the comments, what steps are you taking in your journey? thanks for watching, and remember, no one gets to the top by accident. We all need to keep moving forward.